All right, seventh graders. Well, we are continuing along here in chapter 9, specifically right now, lesson 9.3. And our first set of directions tells us to find the perimeter and the area of the figure. Well, first of all, remember perimeter is the distance around a figure. And these are going to be composite figures, meaning there's going to be multiple figures within one. And so here I see that I have a rectangle and a triangle, but for the perimeter, that doesn't really matter. Perimeter is just the distance around. So I'm going to basically, I just have to add these numbers together, 11.8, 5.3, 6, and 8. Well, I know that 6 and 8 make 14, so I'm just going to go ahead and write 14. Then I have 5.3 and 11.8. Now remember, decimals and place values all need to be lined up, so I need to make sure that I do that. Let's double check the numbers. 11.8, 5.3, 8 plus 6 is 14. So now I'm just going to add these together. 3 plus 8 is 11. Put the 1 down, carry the 1, drop the decimal. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Put the 1 down, carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 3. I get 31.1 centimeters as a perimeter. Now as an area, first of all, the area of a rectangle, remember, is length times width. And so 6 times 8 for the rectangle here, 6 times 8 is going to be 48. Now for the triangle, the distance from here to here is 11.8, and from here to here is 6. So to find out what's left, I'm going to have to do 11.8 and subtract the 6.0 that is right here. The whole thing is 11.8. I know that from here to there is 6. So if I just go ahead and subtract those, 8 minus 0 is 8. And then I know that 11 minus 6 is 5. So I get 5.8. The difference is 5.8. Now, I do know that the formula for area of a triangle is base times the height divided by 2. Now, if this that I know here is 5.8, all right, that's my base. My height, since this is a rectangle, if this is 8, that tells me this is 8. So it would be 5.8 times the height, which is 8, all of that divided by 2. I'm going to save myself a little time and do this division early. 8 divided by 2, and I know that that's going to be 4. So I can just take 5.8 times 4. So I'm going to come over here, 5.8 times 4. Place values do not need to be lined up when I'm multiplying decimals. 4 times 8 is 32. Put the 2 down, carry the 3. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 3 is 23. 1 digit after the decimal in the problem, 1 digit after the decimal in the answer. I get 23.2, 23 and 2/10. So the triangle is 23 and 2/10, plus the 48, that's the rectangle. We go ahead and add those together. We can make that 48.0. 2 plus 0 is 2. 3 plus 8 is 11. Put the 1 down, carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. Plus 4 is 7. 71 and 2/10, since it's centimeters. Centimeters squared, since it's area. All right, let's go ahead and look at the next one. This one here is a little bit different. Here we have 2 semicircles, and we have a rectangle. Well, first of all, I can take care of the rectangle. All right, that's just going to be length, which is 13, times width, which is 6. So I can come over here. That's pretty basic. 13 times 6. 6 times 3 is 18. Put the 8 down, carry the 1. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7. I get 78. So we'll make a mental note of that. Kind of put that right there. Now, I have my 2 semicircles. Now, since the radius is the same, I can think of this as one circle. Okay? I'm just going to combine it into one circle instead of 2 half circles. And I know that the formula for the area of a circle is pi times radius squared. Well, I know that the diameter is 13, okay? So to find the radius, I have to cut that in half. 13 divided by 2. 2 can go into 13 6 times. 6 times 2 is 12. 13 minus 12 is 1. Can't have any left over. So I had a decimal 0. I bring my decimal straight up. I drop the 0 down. 2 can go into 10. 5 times. There's none left over. I get 6.5. But I've got to square that. Okay. So I'm going to go 6.5 times 6.5. 5 times 5 is 25. Put the 5 down, carry the 2. 5 times 6 is 30, plus 2 is 32. Put the 0 down. 6 times 5 is 30. Put the 0 down, carry the 3. 6 times 6 is 36, plus the 3 is 39. 5 and 0 is 5. 2 plus 0 is 2. 3 plus 9 is 12. Put the 2 down, carry the 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. There are 1 2 digits after the decimal in the problem, so I need 1 2 digits after the decimal in my answer. I get 42.25. But then I have to multiply that by 3 14/14 by pi, because it's radius squared times pi. Well, so here we go. 4 times 5 is 20. Put the 0 down, carry the 2. 4 times 8 is 10. 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 2 is 10. Put the 0 down, carry the 1. 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. 4 times 4 is 16. Go to my 1, put a 0 so it all lines up with the 1. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 4 is 4. Put 2 zeros down so everything lines up with my 3. 3 times 5 is 15. Put the 5 down, carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6. Plus 1 is 7. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 4 is 12. Well, let's add it up. 0, 0, 0, make 0. 0, 5, and 0, make 5. 9 plus 2 is 11, plus 5 is 16. Put the 6 down, carry the 1. 1 plus 6 is 7, plus 2 is 9, plus 7 is 16. Put the 6 down, carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 4 is 6, plus 6 is 12. Put the 2 down, carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, nothing, and 1 make 1. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers after the decimal in the problem. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers after the decimal in my product. I get 132.665. I don't need that as part of my answer. But that's just the circle. I need to combine that with the area of my rectangle, which was 78. So I'm going to have a 132 and 665 thousandths. 132.665 plus the 78. Of course, I can think about that as being 78.000 if I want to. 5 and 0 is 5. 6 and 0 is 6. 6 and 0 is 6. Drop the decimal. 2 plus 8 is 10. Put the 0 down, carry the 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. Plus 7 is 11. Put the 1 down, carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 210 and 665 thousandths feet squared. Now that's for the area. Remember, we also want to find the perimeter. Now remember, when we think about perimeter with a circle, we think about circumference. We don't want to forget that word. And we want to remember from a previous lesson that the formula for area of circumference is pi times diameter. The diameter is 13, so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to take pi, which is 3 14/100, and I'm going to multiply that by 13, which is my diameter of my circle, because I have a full circle, so I can just pretend it's all together. 3 times 4 is 12. Put the 2 down, carry the 1. 3 times 1 is 3. Plus 1 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9. Put the 0 so it all lines up with my 1. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. 2, when I add it up, 2 plus 0 is 2. 4 plus 4 is 8. 9 plus 1 is 10. Put the 0 down, carry the 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. There are 1, 2 numbers after the decimal in my problem, so there needs to be 1, 2 numbers after the decimal in my product. 40.82 for the circle, 40 and 82 hundredths. But when I come back to my figure, I can't forget that there's 6 feet here, and if this side is 6, then that side also has to be 6, which gives me an additional perimeter of 12 feet. And if I add that to my 40 and 82 hundredths, 40 and 82 hundredths plus 12, and if I want to think about it as 12.0, I can. That's going to give me 52 and 82 hundredths feet as a perimeter. And so that's finding the perimeter and finding the area. Now, let's do some additional things. A couple of story problems. You're running around a baseball field trying to figure out how long it's going to take you to jog around or run around the perimeter of the baseball field. So, first of all, you know that we're running at a speed of 5 feet per second. All right? So we're going to need to figure out what the perimeter is. Well, I know that I've got 300 feet here. And so that I know then I also have 300 feet here. I can go ahead and just kind of stick that in. I'm going to put that in there as a note, 300 feet. The key is this distance here. And it tells me that this is 40% of the circle, and the radius is 225 feet. So it's talking about perimeter. So this is circumference, pi times diameter. Okay, so if the radius is 225 feet, okay, then I can double that to figure out what the diameter is. 225 feet plus 225 feet. 5 plus 5 is 10. Put the 0 down, carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. Plus 2 is 5. 2 plus 2 is 4. I get 450 feet as a diameter. I go ahead and multiply that by 3 and 14 hundredths for pi. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 5 is 20. Put the 0 down, carry the 2. 4 times 4 is 16. Plus 2 is 18. Put the 0 down. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 4 is 4. I put the 2 zeros down so it lines up with my 3. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 5 is 15. Put the 5 down, carry the 1. 3 times 4 is 12. Plus 1 is 13. Now I'm going to go ahead and add these together. 0, 0, and 0 is 0. 0, 0, 0 is 0. 8 plus 5 is 13. Plus 0 is 13. Put the 3 down, carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Plus 4 is 6. Plus 5 is 11. Put the 1 down, carry the 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. Nothing in 1 is 1. There are 1, 2 numbers after the decimal in the problem. So there are 1, 2 numbers after the decimal in my answer. All right, so the perimeter of the circle is 1,413 feet. But it tells me that it's only 40% of the circle. So 40% as a decimal is 0.40 or just 0.4. So to figure out what 40%, if the whole circle is 1413, and I'm trying to figure out 40%, I have to do the 1,413 times 4/10. 4 times 3 is 12. Put the 2 down, carry the 1. 4 times 1 is 4. Plus 1 is 5. 4 times 4 is 16. Put the 6 down, carry the 1. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. There is 1 digit after the decimal in the problem, so I need 1 digit after the decimal in my answer. Okay, that's how much is there, 565 and 2/10 at 40%. But we can't, that's just the circle. We can't, so this 40% of the circle, the entire circle, was 1,413. But we're only concerned about the 40% that's here. That's 565.2. We multiplied that by 0.4. But part of the perimeter of the baseball field is the 300 feet here and the 300 feet here. So not only do I have this 40% of the circle, which is the 565.2 feet, I have the 300 feet here and the 300 feet here, which combined gives me an additional 600 feet. So I have to come in here and I have to add an additional 600 feet. Well, 2, drop the decimal, 5, 6, and 5 plus 6 is 11. But remember what the question is asking me. It's asking me, how long is it going to take you to run around the field? Well, all you know now is the perimeter of the field, 1,165 and 2/10 feet. You're running at a speed of 5 feet per second. Well, so we're going to take, and let's find a little more room here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to erase our baseball field, since we now know that. And so I need to take the perimeter of our baseball field, which is 1,165 and 2/10, and divide that by 5. Well, 5 cannot go into 1, but it can go into 11 twice. 2 times 5 is 10. 11 minus 10 is 1. Drop the 6. 5 can go into 16 3 times. 3 times 5 is 15. 16 minus 15 is 1. Drop this 5. 5 can go into 15 3 times. 3 times 5 is 15. 15 minus 15 is 0. I'm going to go ahead and drop the 2 here. 5 can go into 2. It can't. So I have to bring my decimal up, and I have to put a 0 up there. And as long as I remember to put a 0, I can just bring down the next number. But there is no next number. So I have to add a 0 because I can't end up with a remainder. Bring that 0 down. And now I know that 5 can go into 20 4 times. And I know there's none left over because 5 times 4 is 20. At a speed of 5 feet per second, it will take you 233 and 400 seconds to run around. We're not really worried about converting that back into minutes or whatever. It's a little less than 4 minutes at that speed to run around the entire perimeter of the baseball field. But that's how many seconds it would take you to run around the perimeter of the field. All right, we have one more question that we're going to look at, 7th grade, and we're going to call it quits on lesson 9.3. Here you have a square and a rectangle, and they want you to figure out the area of the shaded portion. Well, so the first thing we got to realize is that this is a square, which means that if this length is 9, then this length is also 9 meters. Which means that if this whole thing is 21, if I do 21 minus 9, I get 12 meters, which tells me that the length from here to there is 12 meters. So when I look at this part, I see that half of this rectangle is shaded, okay? So the area of the rectangle is 12 times 4. Well, 12 times 4 is 48. And so then I simply have to take 48, since that's the whole thing, and cut that in half, which is essentially the formula for area of a triangle. 12 times 4 divided by 2. Well, 2 can go into 4 twice. There's none left over. 2 can go into 8 4 times. There's none left over. So I find that this shaded part, this triangle right here, is 24 square meters. Now, this part right here is a little bit interesting because here I have this here as my base, okay? And then my triangle kind of goes up there. Now there's a couple different ways that we could do this, okay? I see that the base is 4 meters, and I see that the height from top to bottom is 9 meters. So I can do 4 times 9, and that gives me 36. But it's a triangle, so I have to cut that in half. Well, so that's 36 divided by 2. Well, 36 divided by 2 is 18. So this shaded figure has an area of 18 square meters. This shaded figure has an area of 24 square meters. I need to add those together to find the combined area of the shaded part. 8 plus 4 is 12. Put the 2 down, carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 2 is 4. 42 square meters for the entire part. All right, that's lesson 9.3. We'll talk to you later, 7th grade. Bye.